Welcome, Stitchy friends. I'm Lisa, and come and get lost in stitches with me. Hi, Stitchy friends. My name is Lisa, and you found my channel at Lost in Stitches. For all of you who are coming back and watching me again, thank you so much for returning and for subscribing and liking my videos. Thank you for leaving so many comments. It is just wonderful to interact with you every day. I absolutely am loving the Flosstube journey. So thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you're new here, this is a channel all about my addiction to cross stitch. I love stitching and I love sharing my progress on my whips. So welcome. If you like what you see, subscribe, hit the like button, and definitely leave a comment, and we can interact a little bit more. So for today, today is April the 4th, 2023, and for today we have quite a bit of stuff. I have two fully finished objects. I've framed two of my pieces that I'll share with you. I have a walkthrough of my stitchy journal, so I have that recorded. I'll insert it here throughout the video, and I have 4 whips that I've worked on, and a couple of shout outs for different fundraisers that are happening within our stitch community. So we'll get started here. First, I'll share my FFOs, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, I'm so excited to have these finished. So I've framed both of these myself for now anyway. Maybe someday I'll do the professional framing. But this one is called Monster Whale from Owl Forest Embroidery. And here he is. So I just love the colors in this piece. If you remember, I had to still stitch some of the little pieces down here when I did my finished parade. This one was almost done. So it's all stitched in DMC. So if you're curious about what this one looks like stitched in DMC, here it is. When I looked at the model, it's actually stitched in the Owl Forest Embroidery colors, so this is the DMC conversion that's offered. So you kind of get to see that. I love the whale and the little, just the little houses, and I think if it was stitched on white, the yellow, the little spout here might show up a little bit better, but this one is on an 18 count oatmeal, Aida. So I really love that one. And the next piece that I have finished is actually a much bigger piece. It is my ink circles, Cirque decor. So I finished this one myself. And I'll just bring it a little closer so you kind of get to see. For this one, I am going to go to Michael's and get a piece of the museum glass cut, because I would like to have this one without the reflection on the stitching. It looks nice without it, but I would like it to be protected. So this one I will go and get, because you can see the reflection obviously, right? I will go and get the glass cut for this one. So this is Ink Circle, Cirque decor. It's stitched on 18 count antique white Aida, and it's stitched with number 34 DMC. It's a beautiful maroon color, and I love it. This one's beautiful. I'm really happy to have this one finished and framed and able to hang up in our home. So, all right, so those are the two fully finished objects that I had. I have been working on this piece. It was a new start since I've seen you last, and it's actually now a finish. I'm getting ready to, I've just started to put in some of the beads on here. So this one is a motif that has come from the Second Chances Ink Circles pattern, and it's the one up in the top right corner. So I can show you the full pattern here shortly. Okay, I may have a picture of it. If not, I'll put a link to it down below. I don't think I have a picture here right away. So I've stitched this one on 32 count Whisper. It's a Lugana, and it's with the Valdani thread. So this is the 12 weight Valdani. Oops, yeah, just one second. So you can get to see that a little bit better. And focus. Maybe. I don't know if it's going to focus in here. Yeah, it's trying. But it's an antique violet, and the number is P10. So this one is absolutely beautiful. You can see how the variegation, it just blends so nicely. I just love it. Absolutely love it. And you can see here I've started to put in some beads. So that isn't called for obviously in the ink circles pattern, but I am going to bead this myself. I'm just going to come up with a little pattern here and highlight it with beads. So I have put in some of those. I've actually also recorded a little tutorial on how I do this. So I'll insert that right at the end. If you're interested in just seeing how I put in my beads and kind of see me stitch a little bit, I will add that on the end. It's just 3 or 4 minutes if you're interested. If not, certainly it's okay. But for anybody who's interested in learning how to put in the seed beads and the different things into your projects, it really adds a nice little touch to it. So I really like it. So the stitching is all done, and I'll get all the seeds in, and I'm just going to finish it into a nice quilted pillow. So I think this will be the center, and then I'll kind of quilt around the outside a couple of times and make it just a nice pillow for my bed maybe. So I was thinking initially it was going to be for an exchange, but I found something else that will work even better, and I would like to just have this one, I think, for my bed as a pillow. So that's how I'll finish that one, and you can come along and follow me on that one for sure. I'll be probably another week or so just getting the beads finished for that. And next I worked on my Quinto Acuto. So this is a pattern by, it's quite a big pattern by Longdog Samplers. I've been working on it since last July. I started this one in 2022, and here it is. I'll just stand up so you guys can see it all. So I have reached the bottom corner. Like down on this, I'll get the hang of this back and forth. Down here on this side, it's that is the bottom corner, and where I've been working is let's see, again, has been right in here. So I've just been working within this square here, and I kind of finished down this pillar and down this one. Yeah, so this is kind of where, this is kind of hard to hold up, sorry. There we go, that's a little better. And I did just wash this one. I had the gridding in here, and I was getting super nervous that the pen wasn't going to come out because I had used 2 different types of gridding pen. I know one was no issues, but way early on when I started, it was a different pen, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so scared that it wasn't going to come out for some reason. So with your gridding, you have to be super careful. Thread is the safest for sure, but make sure your pen washes out before you use it. But I did wash it, and rest assured it did all come out. So it is still a little bit wrinkly here. I pressed it, but I was trying not to flatten out all those stitches. And yeah, so that's my progress on that one. I'm looking forward to getting this one done by the end of the year. So that will mean my stitch goal for the month will be about 2,600 stitches a month on this one in order to have it done by the end of the year. I still have about 24,000 left to go. So when I started at the beginning of the year. So this is Cirque Carreaux, and I'm showing it again because I had some questions from my last Flosstube, and I realized that when I had shown it with the Valdani threads that I hadn't said the fabric count and the weight of the thread and everything. So this fabric count is 32. It's a 32 count Lugana antique white, and it's stitched this one with the 8 count. So you can kind of get a good picture of the coverage here and the stitches on that. They're really, really, really dense stitches. And again, I can kind of show this way. You can kind of see that they're raised above the fabric. They just feel fantastic. They're just so soft. I'm in love. So This has been a great new discovery for me. Yeah, I just want them all. So I just want to go back to this one for a second, just so you can, talking about the different counts. This is still 32 count, but this one is a 12 weight thread. So you can see the difference in the coverage a little bit. Hopefully that'll focus. Get my hands out of the way here. Yeah, maybe. But I'll post a good picture on, oh, there it goes, it's on Instagram as well if you need. But that's the coverage with the 12 weight pearl cotton floss. So just beautiful. There's no gaps. You can't see through it at all, and stitches with one strand like a dream. I love it. My next whip that I have is from the Blue Flower, and I'll show you what that one is going to look like. Oh, the Quinto Acuto. Sorry, I'm jumping back and forth a little bit, but I want to make sure I show you what that one's going to look like finished. So this is the finished picture of that one. And what I was working on was the little moose down here by the whale. I'm kind of coming across that bottom section right now. So that was the bigger project I showed you. And the Cirque de Carreaux, again, when that's finished, it will look like this. This one is again by Ink Circles. We can focus. There we go. So just want to make sure that you guys can see what the finished projects are going to look like. And yeah, I think that the other one was finished. So, and this is the one that I'm working on right now from the Blue Flower. I think a lot of people have seen this one, obviously, but it's the Seasons of the Heart series, and this one is Summer. So that's what that one will look like when it's done. I think I probably have less than 2,000 stitches left on this one now. So this is my progress. The last time that you saw this, I had these two flowers I've added in. I've put in the little squirrel down on the bottom, and I've stitched all of this here and and I've connected the heart around. So I did quite a bit of stitching on this in the last little bit. So that is my progress so far. I am loving stitching this one. It's on a 32 count Mushroom Lugana, and it's using all of the called for DMC threads. So that one is absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to have that one done. And the last thing that I worked on was my Mirabilia, and I'm trying to just do a little bit of, I think everybody understands how much work these ones are, but I'm working on red. And this is like an image of Red Riding Hood, and it's just this strong woman pose that really drew me to this, the sink or swim, fight for your life type imagery in there. So I just loved it, and this is where I am. So this is my Mirabilia, and this is kind of coming into her arm. Will be right here. This is the under her cape, and this is just the top section of the hip of her dress. So right now I'm working my way up. I'm just trying to decide if I want to do the 2 over 2 or 2 over 1 or 1 over 1, sorry, on the skin. So I need to decide that soon because I'm starting to work up to her face. So anyway, those are I've really enjoyed working on that one too. Those are my whips for now, and I still have a lot to share. There is a local needleminder company here in Edmonton, and they sell on Etsy. They have their own website as well. They're called Floralsandfloss Needleworks. So I'll link their website down below. But when I showed this one, this little needle minder came from there. They're just beautiful. I love them. She designs them all herself. And then this is another one that I have. Hopefully it'll focus. There we go. And I have this one. There we go. And I also have this one. So I get these from Quinto. It's a clothing store here in Edmonton that sells these from this local lady. Come on, focus. There we go. And they're just the best needle minders. Like sometimes you get them and the magnets aren't that great, but these ones actually have, like, they're just so strong. I'm just reaching for the magnet here. They have these huge magnets on them, and they're very, very, very strong. So they're not going anywhere with your stitching. They're just fantastic. I actually sent one like this to my mom with her Christmas gift. So, hi Mom, love you. So if you want to check those out, they have an Etsy store, and again, it's called Floralsandfloss, Needleminders, and they actually have their own website at Floralsandfloss, Floralsandfloss.com. So you can check her out, and see they also have another one that I don't have yet, that I have yet to see over at Quinto, but it's a ball on a little stand, like a crystal ball, and it has these vines wrapped around it. It's just beautiful. So I'm still, if I go and see that one, I think that'll be added to the to the collection too. But just as a recommendation, they are a local business here in Edmonton. They sell through a local business here in Edmonton, and it's just really high quality. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. It's just a favorite of mine. So wanted to share that with you. There are a couple of things happening within our Flosstube community for fundraising. So Emily C., if you can go and check out her channel, I'll link her down below. She is starting the Duck Derby again this year. So if you're familiar with that, you know all about the ducks and the duck race and the fundraising that she does. She works for a non-for-profit. It's like a youth advocacy group, and they raise money for this group for children, I believe, who are in foster care, and just goes to a fantastic organization. So what she's doing this year, if you go through the organization and buy your or give a donation, then you send the receipt back to Emily at her email, and then she's going to enter you in for a draw for all kinds of prizes. And there is one that Evertote has donated, and they've put in a whole kit, a whole set of Roxyco floss. I think it's 200 and some strands that you'll be put in the draw for if you donate to the Duck Derby. So I'll let Emily obviously explain it a bit more. Her last YouTube video, her Flosstube video just came out, and go over and check her out. It's called The Ducks Are Back, and she does a fantastic job, obviously, of explaining it. So go and check her out, and I'll be making a donation, and then hopefully, hopefully you guys do too and participate to support this great group. A second fundraiser where you can pay it forward into our community is for Cottage Garden Threads. They are in Australia, and they're a mother-daughter group, Pam and Katie. So they have their own website. You can go and check it out. It's at cottagegardenthreads.com. I didn't see anything mentioned on there about it, but they do have a YouTube channel that they put a little video in. If I can get it edited in, I'll stick it in right here. And if I didn't get that put in, here I am. So I'll see if I can get the video copied and put in the link. If I can't, well, here we are. So I'll put a link for it down below either way, and then you can watch. This is 3 minutes explaining the fundraiser that they have. Pam is the mom of the mother-daughter group, and she has to go in for, I believe it's open heart surgery, so it's pretty serious, and they need to get Pam back on her feet and healthy and there for her family again. So they're doing a fundraiser that is absolutely fantastic. So you order, you can go and sign up now, and all the details are in the little video that I'm going to link below. But you can go and sign up now, and you buy the floss pack, and 23, it was 23 in that video, it might be, I think it's about 25 or something now, different designers have come together to donate patterns into them, and they're going to put this whole package together, and it'll be shipped out to you in July. So there's a bit of delayed gratification there, right? But you just do the right thing and help support them, and then you get a little a nice Happy Mail package in July, right? But I think it's fantastic that this community comes together to help people so much and pay it forward every day, for whether it's helping a family in need or just providing content where people can feel like they have company. And I'm so proud to be part of that community. So again, that's at Cottage Garden Threads, and I'll link the video down below where I'll give you all the details where you can go and see. If I can get it to play, you probably have already seen it. So all right, and let's see. All right, so the main thing that I wanted to review today was my sorry, I'm just getting my planner put together here because I was just using it. Let's review my Happy Planner. So I have a video made that I'll insert here in a second, but this is my Happy Planner, and I use it for my stitchy journal. So what it is, I've just gotten this cover. I reviewed it in my last one if you want more details about it, but it's from cocopaper.com. It's a company that actually supports young girls in their education in third world countries so that it elevates them out of poverty. So they learn how to sew and they get skills, and then you end up with this beautiful cover for your Happy Planner. But you can go there and check them out at cocopaper.com, and this is mine. So I have a video with a full walkthrough of this, and I hope you enjoy it, and I will insert it right here. Hi Stitchy friends! This is my walkthrough of my Happy Planner. I recently got this cover for it. I've been using the Happy Planner since November of 2022. I bought one for 23 and then added in a couple of extra months. So I have been using this one since November of 2023. And like I said, I recently just got this cover from Cocoa Paper. I reviewed that in my last video, but you can run back there and have a look. They're just a great company. They're all handmade, and you can get your initials put on there. You get to pick the tab and the colors of the closers that you want, and then on the inside you get to pick this beautiful whatever pattern fabric you want. And there are different designs for whether you want the pockets or for two different sizes of Happy Planner. So I picked the 7 by 9, 9 1/4, I think it is actually, for my Happy Planner. And this is the walkthrough that I talked about. So I'll let you guys know what's in here, and then we'll kind of flip through. So what I use this for, it's just my stitchy planner. It's not a life planner. There are lots of people who combine both, but I like to just keep my stitching all in one place. I actually have a little planner for my floss tubes. It's a list of all the projects and a different template that I use for those to keep track of everything. A list of my current whips, a DMC list, which I'll talk about when I get there, a daily stitch list that goes month by month, the whip tracker, the fabrics that I have, which I'm still inventorying, the stitch alongs that I'm involved in, and then some charts that I'm slowly getting in here. It's things that I haven't started to stitch yet. So, and then there's a list of finishes, and then month by month at the end you'll see. So there's a little bit to go through here. I'll try to keep it short, but hopefully there's some inspiration for you. So the very first one has a page of just the 2023, and every day that I stitch, I mark it off on here. So as you can see, every day this year so far, I have stitched something. Some days it's only 100 stitches, other days it's 1,000. So, but every stitch counts, right? What I wanted to say, I will get the link put down below. I got these templates from
ShazieC online, so you can go and print these out, and then they're actually in the proper size. You just have to trim them with a paper trimmer and then punch them with the punch for this. I'll show that in my regular video, some of the tools that I've used to create this. So this is my Flosstube planner. So as I think about things throughout the week or whatever, I'll just make little notes here, things that I've worked on, things that I want to talk about, and you know, the starts, finishes, fully finishes, any giveaways that I've had, and any haul, floss tubers I've watched. I'll put this in here so then I can plan this out. This is just one that I made myself in Excel. If you want it, just let me know. I can certainly email it to you. So this was one that I used for just planning out floss tubes. It doesn't apply to everybody, but for my project planner, this is every whip that I have. I have the photos ordered to go in here. They're actually ready at the photo lab right now, so I need to get those and put them in. I finally did that. But yeah, there will be a picture of each project in here, and then the name, the designer, what it's stitched on. So this one is Cirque de Carreaux. It's ink circles, even weave, antique white, 32 count. And then I used the Valdani Perle cotton for those. So just, you know, you can put in what you want to finishing on, when you actually started it, and then a progress tracker. So as you reach each one, you can kind of color it in. And any notes about changes that you made, you can add in here. This one is red Mirabilia. Again, I like to just decorate them up with some stickers, because this is Red Riding Hood from Mirabilia. And yeah, and again, all the called for colors. I did change the fabric on this one, so I put in, I'm using Silvery Moon when it was really French lace linen called for, and which is where my beads are stored for the project once I get there. So, and again, so I just have one for every single project that I'm working on. There's about 20, so I'm just quick flip through some of those. But again, you kind of get the idea. So one for every whip, you just put in one of these. And again, I made this template myself as well. So if you want that, just let me know and I can send it to you in email. The whips, this is a current list of whips that I'm working on. I have about 20, excuse me. I have about 20 whips right now. And then they put in the start and the finish dates. So that's just a general whip list. The DMC tracker, I did put it in here. I have an inventory off to the side though, that I'm going to update in a Stitchy app that will tell me what DMC I have, because I think that is actually more useful than having this in here. Sorry, excuse me, for when I'm out and about in the stores and shopping, then I kind of know which ones I have, and I can create a shopping list in there. So I haven't filled this one out yet. I don't know. It was part of the package, so I did put it in to see if I'd use it. But I think I'll go a different route with my DMC checklists. This one is a daily record sheet. So I have these templates. I've just started to use them. So bear with me, but I do have January, February, and March. I have all of my daily stitches recorded in another book, so I'm going to transfer them into here, so then I'll have my totals. I just haven't had a chance to put them in yet. So this is my daily record sheet, and I'll just write down all the number of stitches that I do every day, and then I'll have a total for the end of the month. So I really like knowing like how many things I've stitched on. This one is a monthly tracker. I'm not sure if you can see that well. Let's see if I can line it up for you a little better. Maybe here. This is a monthly tracker, so this one's for April, so the 1st and the 2nd. Yesterday I stitched on Seasons of the Heart, so I can actually mark that one in. So it just tells you what you actually worked on throughout the month, right? And that'll kind of give you an idea of you know, maybe some of your favorites, or just how much effort you put into one over the course of the month. So let's line this up again. And so these are just for future months. This one here actually has a fabric stash list. I haven't inventoried this yet. I've just reorganized my my stash into a box, and it's all folded and kind of sorted into sizes. So I'm going to go through that and transfer that into here. So this is a fabric stash list. So you can put in the fabric name, the type, the count, the size, the color, and which whip it's being worked on. I don't know if I would put in the last column, but at least you would have an idea of what you have. Again, this can go into your Stitchy app, so you have it with you for storing, for shopping. This one is a list of the stitch alongs. So I'm in the Star Woman stitch along right now for the Barbarana designs. As I go and join up for more, I think I'll be looking for a few stitch alongs to join. If you know of any good ones, leave them in the comments. That would be great. And so I will be probably joining up with some of those. And I have more of these sheets that I can print and add in here. This section is the charts. So this is chart kit and stash. So these are charts that I have in my OneDrive as PDFs and some as paper patterns, but mostly as PDFs that are kind of in the wings and waiting. So I'm just working through adding them in here. Again, lots of space to do this. I can print out as many of these as I need. I'll probably need all of them, just like most of us. But we just write in, it's the name of the chart or the kit, the designer or manufacturer, where it was bought from, the date that you got it, and the price that you paid for it, and then any notes that you want to make about the chart, whether you need fabric or not, or you know, if it's kitted or not, you can add that in here. So those are kind of the organizing inventory pieces. This is what I do month over month. Now bear with me, this is a little bit messy. It's just for my own, you know, my own tracking. But at the end of every month, the last day of every month, so this would have been done on November 30th of 2022. I write down each project that I was working on at that time, and then how many stitches were completed out of the total number of stitches for the month, or for the project, sorry, and then the percentage that I am at, and then how many I did for that month. So I do that month over month. This is for December. So these are the whips that I had at the end of December. And again, I just wrote down on quilts, I had 5,616 stitches done out of 22,319, which on December would have put me at December 1st, sorry, that would have put me at 25.16%. So I have another little bit of organization here. If it has a dot, I want it to be a focus month, going a focus piece in the month ahead. If it has a tick mark, it got completed in that month. And then if it's an arrow, it's just parked for the next month. So it kind of gives me an idea of what I have left to do and about how far along I am in each project. So I just do that month over month. Again, it's not super neat. It's just my scratches to tell that it's actually moving along or not, right? You can kind of see some stay the same month over month, and maybe you want to consider UFOing some of those or just parking them away until your interest comes back in those. So again, this is for like February and March. This is where I kind of ended up a couple of days ago, and I just again write down the percentages that I'm at for all of these projects. It helps me understand what I need to focus on in the next month and how many stitches are left. So knowing that in Seasons of the Heart I only have 1,700 stitches left, and Butterfly Dreams, I can easily pin those two as a finish in April, right? And it just gives you a good overall picture of what you're working on. Back here, I just have a quick list of some of the finishes that I've done, just so I can keep track, because sometimes they get put into exchanges or gifts, or, you know, so it's kind of nice to have a little list. This isn't all of them, but I have to update my list. So as you go through in this next section, I know this is a little bit fast. If you guys have questions, let me know. I can take pictures and put them on Instagram, whatever you need. I just didn't want to take too long to do this. So this next section is where I use this every single day. These back here, I've kind of I update, I look at, and I keep them for tracking. But these ones I really use every single day. So you'll see for my month of November. This is the month in a view, right? So every day I just write in the project that I worked on and how many stitches I did. Project I worked on, how many stitches. And this just gets scribbled in. You know, it's kind of messy sometimes, but it could be at 2 in the morning, whatever. Whenever I'm finished stitching for the day, I pull out my thing and I just write in exactly what I've written, stitched on for that day. Any starts that I have, any finishes that I have, I mark them in here as well. So off to the side, you'll kind of see some of the focus pieces that I would have had for the month, and then the stitchy goal that I would have had for how many stitches I actually got in November. So in November I had 28,155 stitches. And again, this is December. It's just a way of tracking for me, right? February was a little sparser. I didn't keep track as much because I was sewing more. I got my sewing machine, so you can tell in February it kind of slowed down on the stitching a little bit for me. This is March. Again, I filled out again towards the end of the month because, as most of you know, for the first 16 days of March we were actually in Hawaii. So I didn't track what I stitched on over here. I know I had Seasons of the Heart started. I finished off the pavane piece. I stitched the little flowers piece for an exchange that's coming, and the other pillow that I had, the Birdie's Flowers. So I know that I did all of those in here, but I'll probably just make a little note of that on the side. Anyway, this was March. Lots of blue colors for the winter, right? You know, you can tell. Okay, so here we are coming into April. As you can tell, a bit of a change here. We're starting to have longer days, and I just really felt like having the flowers in here. So I've only got these couple of filled in here, and I can actually put in Seasons of the Heart here, because that's what I stitched on yesterday, and I got about, I think it was 350 stitches in there. So this is my April. You know, I kind of keep track of a few things, doctor's appointments. We're going away to Montreal for near a week here towards the end of April. So unfortunately I will miss the retreat in Wabamun because of that, but that's okay. You know, Montreal, it's always the land of good food and adventure, so we'll have some fun over there. And that's it. So that's how I keep track of month to month. Now, at the end of every month, I put in, this might be the thing that helps people the most. It's certainly what helps me keep track. It's how I track what I am going to do day over day in the month, because I'm not a type of person that really likes hard and fast goals, like you have to stitch on this for 500 stitches today, because I'm a mood stitcher. So I really like the flexibility of being able to pick up what I want, when I want, but still have stitchy goals. So how I've come to put that together every month, this is my goals for April. So my goal for April, because I know I'm going to be doing other crafting and sewing, I've put in a goal of 22,592 stitches, and that will get me to each individual goal here, as you'll see. So these are the whips that I want to work on in April. I believe I probably have 16 or so here. I've set a stitch goal for each one. Now, I set this goal based on my interest in the piece and potentially when I would like to have it done for the end of the year. So if you come back to the little sheet here, sorry, see if I can get back to it, just say my March sheet here. Then when I look at this one, I can tell on Quinto that I have 23,484 stitches left to go out of 67,445, right? I have 65% complete, but I still have 23,000 left to go. Now, if you remember, on my Quinto Acuto piece, I've already put in the 2023 date on there, so I definitely want to have that one done by the end of the year. So the total that was left over there, the 24 some thousand, I took that and divided it out by a certain number of months, and so my monthly goal for that piece will be 26,010 in order to have it finished for the end of the year. So what I've done, just take Quinto as an example, with that being 2610, then I take that and I divide this number, the 2610, by 500s, because when I sit and stitch, I like to stitch about 500 on a piece before I put it away. So when, when I've stitched the 500, I'll just come in with a little highlighter and highlight over that and just say, okay, I've got that 500 done, and then the next time I'll pick it up again, and that 500 is done, and that 500 is done, and then by the end of the month, all of these should be highlighted. And as they get filled in, I can start to see, oh, I haven't worked on Isabella's heart yet this month. I better pick up that one and at some point in the next week and try to get another 500 into it. So it sets a little goal broken down in what you want to stitch for the month. And then I know sometime over that month, if I want to reach my goal for the end of the year for Quinto, I need to pick it up 6 times. And each of these times it'll be 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, and then 160 for the last time that I pick it up. I'll likely go on to 500 because that's the way I like to stitch. You know, doing it this way and having certain goals to reach things by the end of the year or, you know, by the end of the summer, that you can't always touch every whip that you have. So the ones that I don't plan on touching for April, I'd put them over here kind of in a parking lot. So this is Honeybee, Owls Bonded, and my Barbara Anna cell for Star Woman. Those 4 will be parked for the month of April. So if I can get through and finish all of these, then these will be my extra stitching. I'll try and put 500 each on those. But you know, I don't have any plans to put stitches into those for the month of April. And these ones, hopefully, this is what I'll be able to accomplish and show you guys in my floss tubes. So the other thing that I really like to do, and I'm trying to do, I should say, is a 25/7 piece. So I really want to progress my Nightlights piece. I still have a stitchy goal of 1,000 stitches for this month. On top of that, I would like to do the 25/7 with Nightlights. Now, as you can see, we're on the 4th. These 3 days I have not stitched on Nightlights. So I'm trying to figure out, it's the big, I'll show it to you when I go back to the regular episode here probably, but it's got the Northern Lights and the Lighthouse in it. It's a Haid, and it has 151,000 stitches in it, and I'm only at about 5%. So I would really like to get that up closer to that maybe 25% mark by the time I get to the end of the year. But that's going to require something like this for me to do it, I believe. So I'm trying. We'll see how that works out for me. Again, the more I'm told to stitch on something, the less I want to stitch on it. So unfortunately, I don't know if this will work, but we'll try. And any starts that I have over the month, I'll just write them in here, and then I can keep track of what I stitched on those as well, just like this. So so that's how I do my monthly goals, and hopefully you like the little flip through of the agenda. Again, each month, as you can see, as you go through, they're just completely blank when you start, and then I turn it into something, like this with the stickers. So it's really a blank slate. You can do whatever you want. If you don't like stickers, then just use it to fill in your stitchy journal here. So I like them. It brings me joy to see all the bright colors, but everybody, you do you. So anyway, that's my journal. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this. I hope it gave you some inspiration. If you have any questions, certainly let me know. And happy stitching, everybody. I'll send you back to the regular episode.
Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough of the planner. I know it's a lifesaver for me. I love looking back and seeing all of my different progress. You certainly don't need to go to this extent to have this type of a planner in your life. You can use a notebook, right? And just every page, just write something down and like the different categories and different things you want to keep track of. It's your journal, right? This one just brought me happiness. I just love it. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough. If you have any questions, certainly just put them down below, and we'll see. I can answer whatever you need about where to get it. I'll put a bunch of links in the description box below, and hopefully that will guide you to anything that you may want to get. So for haul, I think that was one of the last things. I didn't really buy a lot this last couple of weeks. Most of the things that I got were actually to support my Flosstube channel. So I did get a little stand here and a light to help do the overview and the bead tutorial. I got a little side table here that packs up that can go to retreats. This thing's fantastic. Again, I can put a link. It's just a little tiny table. It looks like this. It's just so tiny, and it actually completely folds up and could fit in your suitcase if you wanted to take it to different retreats. It goes down this, something about like this big, and it's fantastic. So if you need a little side table, it can go to different heights. I loved it. So one of the girls had it at retreat, and it sold me. And the other thing that I got was my Lowry stand. So I think a lot of you have seen the Lowry stands. It's absolutely fantastic. I have loved having it. Just the two-handed stitching is so much faster than my desk stand. Is fantastic for retreats. It's really, really nice, but I tend to like to stitch in my chair or on the couch, so that doesn't help me much because it's hard to balance on my lap, right? As a case creation stand, it's really good. I really like it for the table, but the Lowry stand is a game changer for being able to be comfortable and stitch on the couch. So those are the few things that I had come this week. Life, it's just been busy with the kids. We haven't been doing too much. We're heading to our acreage in BC, probably for the weekend, and life is good. We're all happy, and there's just keeping up with the kids in school, and you know how it is. So not a lot to share there. So right at the end here, I did say, I know it's kind of jumping around a bit, but I wanted to leave the beading tutorial right to the end, so there may be people that certainly aren't interested in this part. But for this one, this is the project that I'm working on in the tutorial, and I'll put that in here, and I'll show you just how I store my my seed beads. So this is the container that I use, and you'll see some of these little containers in the video how I take them out and use them. But this has been great. I just take the little thing from the packaging and tape it on into the inside of one of these little things, and then I have all the beads, and I can see the colors from the bottom. So it's just one more little tip. That's how I store my beads, and those are the ones that I'll use in the little tutorial. So I'll insert that here, and I hope you enjoy. If you're not interested in seeing the tutorial, it was great visiting with you again. I'm so happy to be making these videos, and just so look forward to all your comments. So if you liked what you saw, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and certainly leave me a comment. I reply back to every single person. So it's really, really nice chatting with you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments as well. And happy stitching. So here's the tutorial, and I'll see you again in a second.
Okay, and here we are with the supplies that you will need for your beading. So we can kind of go through this, and then I'll bring my project over, and then I'll kind of show you how I do the beading. So first, to start off, obviously you need some beads. So today I'm working with the Mill Hill frosted glass beads. That's these ones here. Very pretty. This deep purple. And these ones here are the glass seed beads, number 00161. Those are also from Mill Hill. And then these ones are the Czech crystal beads. I just have them in like a crystal white and a pink, and I got these from Michaels. So these are the Bead Landing Percosa 4mm, just the Czech crystal beads. Now, what do I use in tools to actually do my beading? So I like these ones, the ColorEYES, the beading needles by Beadsmith. You can get them in size 10, 11, and 12. There's 2 each in a pack. So you kind of get them like this. And I like the black one here, the number 10, if you can actually see that. But the little coloring kind of makes it a little bit easier to tell the size and the just to get that thread, that clear thread through the needle. For beading, there's a couple of different options. I kind of use these interchangeably. This one's the Bead Along Wildfire. So this is a beaded weaving thread. It's just a clear, see if I can hook out a piece here. Just like a clear kind of white frosted thread. There's no shine. Very, very, very strong. And this one comes in 50 yards, and I use the 0.2 millimeter or 0.008 inch size. And the other option is your Nymo thread. So it comes in a package that looks like this. It's Nymo nylon thread. I got this at Michael's as well. Both are about, it's been a while since I bought it, but probably both are around $15 Canadian. And these also come in different colors. You can get it in black, tan, gray, and white, like in a multi-pack, or I just went for the plain white. So these are the two that I generally go for. This one almost disappears in your stitching. It's almost invisible thread, but not quite. It, as you'll see when I do some of the stitching here, you won't be able to see it. So the mat that I have underneath is a little just felty mat. These come 2 in a pack at Michael's as well, and they're probably, I think, $6 or $7, something like that. But these are really nice. This is how I kind of contain everything when I'm doing my beads, my beading. I'll just thread my needle, and then as I'm sewing, I can just come over here and pick up a bead and keep going. So that's how I manage that. You'll see me do that off camera a little bit because I'll bring my project over here in a second. I'll move these things sort of to the side. So I just kind of keep these off to the side here. Okay, so here we are ready to do some of the beading. I've just threaded through my size 10 needle with some of the Nymo thread. And what I've done is tied it off on the back. So I'll flip this over and let you see. So what I do, I just tie off a double knot. I go down through and up through, tie a knot on the back, and then that secures your beads from coming out. If you just do the regular, like, under and tucking the thread under with your beads, they have the potential to fall off when you're, or loosen as you're moving the fabric or washing it or doing whatever you need to do before you frame. So it is important to tie off your thread as you're starting to do your beading. Okay, so what we're going to do today, you can see here I've already put in some of the little clear seed beads down here. I'm actually going to add in some darker beads along here and here for this design. This is an ink circles pattern. It's the motif from the Second Chances design that Tracy Horner has put out. You can get that on inkcircles.com. And doesn't have any beads in it, so the beading part is just my own addition to that pattern. So, you know, kind of freestyle, feel free, right? So what I'm doing to start, I'm just coming up through the lower left corner. I'm going to put a bead into this square here, and I'll just pick up a bead off to the side here. Bear with me. And I'm just picking that up off of my mat with the needle. As you can see, here it is. Here, and I just slide that needle down, and then I pinch this thread and I just give it a little bit of tension off to the side. So you'll see the bead will just sit here out of your way, and then I come back down through the top right corner, pull that tight. Now that's with one post through. If you want your bead to sit on an angle, whatever it is for part of your design, then you're kind of done with that one, and you can go on and say come up through your next post here, your next hole here, sorry, and then just keep going. You could add another bead and another bead, and they would all sit on an angle. For me, I like them to sit, you know, kind of parallel to the base of the pattern. So for this one anyway. So then in order to get it to sit straight, when you come up through that bottom lower right corner, you come back, lift your needle up and come back through that bead. Sometimes I take this hand, my left hand, and put it underneath, and I push up a little bit right here. That'll pop that bead up for you so you don't hook into your stitches. That's another little tip. And then as that one, I just keep my hand down there, and then as I feel the needle coming through, I just move it away. And then sometimes I'll just put my hand, switch hands and come to the top and get that one to sit. So now you can see that it sits straight. So we'll do another one. Do this one really slowly. So this one comes up through the lower left corner again. And again, I'm going this way. Just pick up another bead and slide that down. Again, I just keep a little bit of tension. This helps as you get crowded. If you're doing a lot of beading, keeping it just pulled off to the side a little bit allows you to still see where your bead is going. So just come into the top right hand corner, come up through that lower right hand corner, come, sorry for the shaking, come through the bead again. Again, my hand came underneath and I'm just kind of pushing up with one finger right where that bead is. And you'll see how it makes it a bit easier to pop that needle through. And then come down through. So I'll do another couple with you. So again, come up through here, get another needle, another bead on your needle, come down through, there we go, and then up through that bottom hole. Sometimes it's really difficult with the long beading needles because they're a little bit flexible. So you'll see here, if I just tried to get this through, it would start poking into these. Again, that's where that other hand underneath with one finger poking up really helps to lift that bead up. There you go, and it's less frustrating then. And there you go. So I just keep going like that, just putting it up through. And you can do this with your seed beads diagonally like this. You can do it with the bigger beads. It's the exact same method, just coming up and down through the holes so I kind of get the bead in place. A little bit of gentle tension off to the side. It's in place. And I come, oh, if I can find it. Again, these beading needles takes a little bit of getting used to when you're used to your cross stitch needles. Come through the hole again, and then go down through. So to finish off on these, you can see how these are just sitting here. So I'll come and put some in here. I'll just go around the motif adding those ones in. I have some of the bigger crystals that I'll be adding in to these. I'll show you how I'll do one of those here right away. And so you just pull up through. And oh, I lost my thread. Bear with me. So as you get used to it, it gets a little bit faster, right? Sometimes these bigger ones, you can just put it right on your project and pick them up. It's a little easier off of the pad. So this is just one of the ones here that I would like to add in, and I'll actually come up through the wrong hole. You'll get the idea. There we go. So to get that one to sit, yeah, so you just kind of pull that one in, and then I just put a little bit of tension to come up through the hole that I want it to sit in again, and just to get it to line up straight. Go up through here, and then down through the hole here. So you can see even with a bigger bead, it's the same technique of up, down, and it'll just sit straight on your fabric. As you put more in, they'll stay tight like that. So in order to finish off, I just flip my work over, and then what I do is thread through about 3 times. I just go one, try not to pull too tight. You just want that last bead to feel really secure in there. And I generally try to come through a couple of times, different directions, and then I just trim it off like this. So there we have it, the 3 different types of beads that will go into this project, and hopefully that helped you. If you have any questions, certainly ask, and I'll send you back to the regular episode. Thanks, guys.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's a little bit of a different format for today's video, but I hope you enjoyed it all, and happy stitching, and I hope to see you guys again in another week. Alright, bye guys.